I don't like this power, Hunter. I
Yeah.
don't. How do you handle this responsibility every week?
Moderately acceptable to okay. I mean, normally I would have held on to that responsibility, but I'm in bed right now.
He is. That's why if the audio sounds funky on Hunter's side, you can't be mean to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if I sound a little funky, I am on a lot of painkillers right now, so
Hmm.
just a warning. So we had Gen Con, that was fun. We're gonna be talking about all the new Gen Con announcements and news and stuff today, and a quick overview of V6. But that Monday, after everyone had gone home, I had my first day at a new job. I had a really bad fall trying to take a piss in the middle of the night. And I thought I just sprained my knee so I went into work the next day and they were like, "You're wincing a lot. You seem like struggling. Do you want to go home?" I'm like, "No, this is like my second day. This is training. I can't miss. This is too important." And by the end of the day, I ended up like passing out and they sent me home. So I went to the ER and it turns out I had a total knee dislocation and was just like thugging it out. So
Hunter, stop being such a badass.
it's true. I've never broken a bone or anything before, so I didn't
But
know.
you
I
made your
mean, you
bone
may
go
have.
from a flat horizontal plane to a 90-degree turn.
My right knee was fully on the outside of my leg, basically. Like not outside the skin, but it was turned to that side.
Uh,
Like real Zamiti
Content
shit.
warning, body horror. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoops. Sorry, guys.
I just think
Um,
it's crazy because like I played football and I played tennis and I attempted to skateboard for years and like I was a fan of Jackass in my
mhm.
teenage years doing dumb shit. Never really injured myself all that bad. And then
Teenaged well into your 20s. I just need to reiterate.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Hunter, I watched you chug vodka out of a broken bottle
That's true.
in your mid-20s.
That's not gonna break a bone though.
It's
No,
not. It's just
no.
going to break everything else in you.
Yeah, no, no. What is going to break your bones, or should have broken somebody's bones, was the truck jousting.
That was fun though.
I know, but like that's my favorite when I'm not in the US yeehaw story to share because people are like, "Oh, like what are the wacky things Americans do?" And I'm like, "Well, they got
You
into a
just
truck
wait.
and got 2x4s and went, okay, bet."
Mm-hmm.
And they were already in the middle of it by the time I got home, so there was nothing I could do to stop it. And I was just like, well,
Yeah, it's like coming home to a Ren fair.
but with like
Good tidings,
reg
ye wench.
yeah, except it
The
was like
Knights have put
regular
on a
normal S
show.
trucks. They did. I didn't want the show. But we want this show.
Yeah. Speaking of which, hi and welcome to Blank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade tabletop and horror podcast. As you heard, I didn't say V5. I think I stopped saying that a while ago, but we now have V6, and talking about that is me, Hunter.
Me, John.
Me, Sarah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
following the patterns.
Hell yeah. I don't know why we're doing the CTE talk, but hell yeah. Let's go.
I have an excuse. And it's called hydrocodone acetamine.
Jesus Christ. I need people to understand the dedication we have to doing this project.
The bottle's getting a little empty though. I gotta call the doc up.
God damn it, Hunter.
Um.
Your white boy swag will not be impeded.
It's true.
All right,
But
so we had agreed that Hunter was heading the Gen Con discussions. So our little druggy thuggy boy is leading this, guys, and I am so sorry.
no, it's fine. This is gonna be a chill episode. We're gonna just talk about the news and the basics that we have from the V6 alpha so far.
Okay.
And then next week we'll do a deeper dive into some of the more unique rules. I think there's stuff that's similar enough that we can kind of hand wave discuss. We don't need to, like attributes seem basically the same. So there's no reason to do a whole deep dive into that unless I discover something, basic stuff like that. But there's a lot of new stuff. I'll probably, like I said, I'll introduce some of the concepts that stood out to me in this episode, and then next week we're going to have a deep dive. I also have an interview with one of the DMs from Gen Con about their experience running the playtest, so that'll be fun. And
Hey,
then
yo.
over on the Patreon, we're going to be doing a let's play of the playtest scenario. So we're actually going to be trying it out for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get
Hey, yo.
started. So Gen Con was about a week ago, and at Gen Con, it was made official. It was announced that V6 was in production. Alongside that, they did a announcement presentation. They did a bunch of play tests.
Mhm.
Some group did a live play that I did not go to, and then they released the playtest PDFs, which include a player packet, an ST packet, the scenario, and then I believe there are 2 other versions of the player and ST stuff specifically for like online tabletops, which I don't really use, so I didn't look at those. But we're going to be looking specifically at the player packet, the ST packet, and then eventually get to the scenario there. There's also some information from that announcement presentation. I believe the whole thing was recorded, and you can find a video of it on Reddit, probably YouTube, probably other websites too.
Yeah, I wanted to give a small caveat about the playtest because at Gen Con I was very confused, mostly because the Gen Con marketing for the V6 Alpha playtest and the Vampire the Masquerade crossover to Dungeons and Dragons actual play, they used like the same, not the exact same art, but it was the same style and the same colors and everything. And I'm so busy at Gen Con that I saw both of those and I was like, oh, I guess they're doing 2 tables. Cool. And then was just confused all weekend.
Mm. I'm
People reaching
guessing
out like, "Hey, how was the playtest?" And you're like, we don't do D&D. I don't know, man."
Yeah, it's like I don't do D&D. If the D&D people have questions about VTM, I'm happy to help. I don't D&D. And also at Gen Con, I am running so many fucking events. I was like, girl, you think I have time to go do shit?
I did
But
though.
I love that for you. Hunter did, and we love that for him. So you, Hunter, what do? Where we go? How's this going? What did you
All right.
learn? Tell us.
So let's start at the beginning. So V6 is an alpha, so this is nowhere near complete. So anything in this is up for change. So if you're listening to this in the future, this will become outdated information. This is more of a historical where things were thing than anything else. Thank you. I just had a package delivered to me in bed.
Hell yeah. Is it
Wow.
Danny?
Yeah,
Hi,
Hey,
Danny.
Danny.
he left already, but I'll send your tidings. Oh, he said hi.
Yay. Danny sometimes is on the show as a Malkavian. He's a sweet bean.
Yeah, he hovers around my house as a Malkavian too.
He's just really good at it. He might just be a Malkavian and is just lying to us. I don't know.
Yay, more pills.
For those at Gen Con that partook in my What We Do in the Office LARP, 1, thank you. I'm glad you had a good time. 2, Danny, you saw him. He was the Malkavian walking around in the really resplendent suit, just ominously saying things and giving away pride buttons.
Yeah. And don't worry, they're not worrisome pills. I just got magnesium.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, so alongside that, some of the big announcements that I've seen people talking about, so I just wanted to go ahead and just drop it here at the front. White Wolf is its own thing. But it is not a whole new company. It is a lot of the same people from Paradox. I would consider it more of a rebranding than like a new company bought World of Darkness. So I
So
think
they
that
just shifted the team over?
I believe so. I don't know the whole setup, but this is not like a buyout. This is not like they just were like very polite and let them go. I believe it's closer to a rebranding, at least from what I've seen. So
Hey, yo.
still cool.
Yeah.
Still cool, but like not exactly what some of the people I've been seen speculating online, so I wanted to mention that. They also mentioned that once they get V6 off the ground, right now their goal is to work on we'll call it M6 and C6, so Mage and Changeling next, as well as a Dark Ages core book.
Hey,
Interesting.
yo.
So those will be, quote, alongside 6th edition. I know these are nightmares because not every game has gotten a release every edition, so the numbers don't make sense, but that's fine. You get the idea. Also, H5 and W5 are going to continue receiving support, so we're getting more Hunter and Werewolf content under the 5th edition banner. But that support is being run by Renegade still. So White Wolf didn't have a whole lot to say to that because it's not really
Not really
their
their thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I believe they're still working together on it, but it's kind of Renegades deciding when that happens situation.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, those are
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
I know. Oh, I was just saying, I know a lot of folks have been enjoying Werewolf 5 more now that we've gotten a bunch more information out. So good job, Werewolf team. Awoo. I have heard mixed things about Hunter 5. I've enjoyed it. I'm still owning I'm a Hunter the Vigil girly at the end of the night, but getting the more info has been overall good on Hunter. I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, so I think those are the big announcements we got. So anything beyond that I could say is speculation. So there's no reason to really speculate, but I did want to draw that line there. I did go by the Renegade booth just to see what they got, and their World of Darkness section was pretty piss poor. So
I don't know if it's were they cleaning stuff out? I'm sorry, John, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead. I was kind of wondering the same thing. So.
Oh, okay. So we had the same thought. Woo.
It was only like
one brain cell.
It was only like the Werewolf core book, the last two vampire books released, and then some dice trays.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
So no Hunter whatsoever, very little Werewolf, and only like the last couple printed vampire books and a Werewolf and a vampire dice tray. So seems like they're not really pushing it.
Cutting support for vampire now that they don't have it.
Yeah, they also did announce that they are going to be working on an Anne Rice tabletop RPG almost immediately after Vampire went over to White Wolf.
Oh,
I mean, that
no,
makes sense.
Like, I didn't learn about the Vampire Chronicle, like the Immortal Universe that Renegade was doing until like they timed that, and I hated that. That like I watched the last episode of the Vampire Lestat and was like processing, being like, "Oh shit, this is actually a really cool show. I'm excited for season 4." And then my feed exploded into, they're doing this tabletop system, and I'm just like, "Fucking goddamn it."
I'll only play it if you can be one of the sex aliens.
Hell yeah. We'll have to see. My cursory look at that system, I think it's one of those, I don't think it'll be bad, I just don't think it's for me. The social system seemed a little crunchy, but I will have to actually look at it more seriously. That also might just be a Nightmare Nerds episode, I'll be completely honest.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not an Anne Rice girly, so I'm not really the person to comment up or down on how that turns out, really.
That's fair. Yeah, I'd say also I don't know if that system's gonna be more based off of the books or if they're pulling stuff more from the new like AMC series. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, back to our home base of stuff.
Yeah, so I think those are the big Gen Con announcements and stuff. We I know we talked a bit with the Trench Crusade people. There was bunch of cool little creators there as always. I guess I don't know, John disappeared, but I saw a dog move, so his camera's not frozen. Oh, there's John. I don't know if you heard, but apparently I didn't look into the details. I saw this right as I was sitting down, but apparently D&D announced some Dark Sun. So Dark Sun might be coming back.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh,
oh no, we might go back to D&D. Fuck.
Yeah, that is not a property I expected them bringing back.
I don't know if,
Damn.
I don't know if a way that I can say this that doesn't sound awful.
What?
But as a Dark Sun fan, it's going to be interesting to try and see them release a version of Dark Sun without racism.
God bless.
Yeah. And,
good luck. Good luck to them.
Like,
I mean, it's part of the horror baked into the setting. It's not even a pro or negative. It is a core.
It's just bad.
It's a core function of the society that the game is written around.
Yeah, but it's
like when you try and write like Southern Gothic, but like, oh yeah, we just don't mention slaves. It's gonna be
rancid. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Yeah, you can't do Southern Gothic without acknowledging the horrors of chattel slavery. That's just not happening. It's kind of baked in, dog.
Yeah,
Those
all these
kind of were the
all
horrors of Southern Gothic.
Yeah, that's
these
most of the horrors, I'll be honest. It's like
all these
90% of it right there.
all these gladiators are just volunteers.
Oof.
Oh god.
I'll
Yeah,
also
no,
be
it's like
interested to see how they, because they've like, this is not a D&D podcast, but it'll be
no.
interested to see how they do the like durability of weapons, because they've
Yeah.
taken so much crunch out of D&D that like, I don't know, it'll be interesting to just be like, oh yeah, you have a bone sword, so this dude blocked it with like a metal shield. Your bone
You're kind of
sword might not
fucked.
be around, bud.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I guess to kind of round out our general talking about Gen Con stuff, I'm gonna give a small shout out to City of Glass for doing their goddamn best to get us a live show because we got kind of fucked out of the catalog.
Yeah.
Our live show was fun though for those who did show up.
Yeah, thank you. A lot of fun.
Yeah, low key, I kind of enjoyed doing our show later at night as opposed to early in the fucking day.
Yeah, I was there on time.
Yeah, you were. It was great. You
That
were
was
on
the first
time.
time I've been on time to one of our shows.
No one tell Eric we definitely did multiple shots of liquor.
It didn't happen.
No,
No.
not at all.
It was corn
I
juice.
totally didn't retch on the overly sweet, like biolically sweet fucking corn liquor, and it was so bad to me I washed it down with Malort to get the taste out of my mouth.
It was
That was the
cornbread water. I
incorrect
liked
choice.
it.
Yeah,
I
cornbread
no,
water is
it
good. It's like horchata, but with cornbread.
no, it's not. It tastes like sick. I'm trying to not give it the correct visceral description lest I make a listener vomit on their own time. Not worth it. That's how bad it was for me, guys. I slammed a shot of Malort to get the taste of that bullshit out of my mouth.
Hilarious.
I'm gonna get cornbread after this. I think I got a little DoorDash money.
Yeah, listen, I like cornbread.
Cornbread does sound
Cornbread
good.
fucks. Sweet or savory, cornbread fucks, but like that
And
corn
then you
liquor
get it
can
in
fuck
juice
off.
form.
No. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare fluid. But the
Speaking
show
of
was
juice
good.
form, go
Oh
ahead.
god. No, you're good. What the fuck's going on with juice?
I was just gonna move
Yeah.
us on to V6. Get into
Yeah.
the juice of the episode.
Get
Okay,
into the
there we
juice.
go.
I guess
I was
my
really
last
hoping for some
little-
sort of reasonable
Yeah.
segue there.
You're correct. Just wrapping that up was hey, everybody who talked to us and ran into us at Gen Con. It was lovely seeing you. Also, sorry our live play also got fucked by a tornado.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we were supposed to do a live play of Plunk is Dead with Madness Diamond. They are super lovely. Go follow them on social media. They do a lot of great work in gaming as well as advocating for like sex worker rights and stuff. But the sky decided no. So we didn't do
Punk
that.
is
I'm really
in fact
bummed.
dead today.
But I think we're gonna try and do that as a live play later. Anyways, V6
Yes.
baby, let's go.
Yeah, so diving into the player, and I believe some of the information is in both the player and the ST packet. I haven't read as much as the ST packet. The player packet is huge. It's much bigger than I thought. It's about 178 pages. I believe the ST packet's about 50, rounding up. So there's quite a bit to go over, but from the quick glance I gave over, I believe they share some of the same information. They've got like a whole section on game design goals and that sort of thing. So makes sense to put that in there. But if you are planning on playing this or especially running this or reading this to give feedback, you'll definitely need to read both from what I can tell. There's quite a bit to dig through. But they do, like, as I said, they have a whole section where they talk about like their design goals for V6. And the first one is that this is supposed to be a love letter to the storyteller system. Quote, we want to make a game that honors what has come before, bringing elements that are essential to the experience of Vampire the Masquerade. And some of the ways that they did that are with clans. They have 14 clans this time. So 14 clans. I assume that will be in the core book because they're all in the playtest. But we have the Banu Hakim, the Bruja, Gangrel, Giovanni, Lasombra, Malkavian, Ministry, Nosferatu, Ravnos, Salubri, Toreador, Tremere, Zimitzi, Ventru, and Caitiff. And yes, that's 15 if you count the clanless Caitiff as a clan. So
But nobody does, so
yeah.
that's fine.
Also
I
interesting.
do.
Also interesting that the Giovanni was listed, but none of the other Hakata. So
Yeah. Did they do a Giovanni again?
Did they do a Giovanni? Just the Giovanni are just mad as shit about the family reunion and went, no.
Yeah.
Bam. Maybe. I don't know what the plot is. That would be really funny.
we have some that might come back. I have a section on the meta plot coming up, but
Yeah. I was
so
gonna say they do their version of the red wedding, except it's like
A
oh god, it's
cookout?
like it's a Venetian wedding, and you're just like, no, I don't want to go. No.
I did see some people online that were worried. Yes, there is only 7 clans complete in the playtest right now, and they have
Mm-hmm.
the pre-made characters for the adventure, but the other clans are at least being worked on, and this is an alpha.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so right now we have the Bruja, the Gangrel, La Sombra, Ministry, Nosferatu, Toreador, and Ventru are the playable ones. I myself played the Ventru because I played a Ventru last in V5, so I thought it would make the most sense to play something I could easily compare.
Hell yeah. No, that
Instead
makes
of
sense.
yeah, instead of diving into the playtest with my first Ministry character or something like that.
Fair. I'm just gonna take a small pause if y'all are cool with this because for those who ran into me during Gen Con, and I apologize if I was kind of snippy or stressed out, a lot of people insisted on taking me to the pissing me off factory, and part of that was people not understanding what the fucking alpha test is. An alpha test is the first draft. Just because it's in the alpha test does not mean this is what's going to be there the whole time. That does not mean that this is what things are going to be by the time you get to the end. It's a fucking alpha test.
Alpha, as in first one.
Yes,
As in
it's a first
as in
draft.
the beginning of the alphabet.
Yes. And also, given the current situation we are in and from the information we have from the publishers, they are actively looking for feedback from the community. If you see something in the alpha test you do not like, I believe there is a form you can go fill out to tell the developers that you do not like this.
Yes, there's a form in all PDFs. There's a quick feedback section, and then there's an in-depth feedback section. I believe they said it takes about 45 minutes to fill out. So you can give
Oh, the
them
long one?
a lot of feedback. They're asking for
Yes.
feedback. I will say, I know our community is chill like that, but I think it's worth noting. If you keep your feedback civil, they're more likely to listen to you. And also,
Yes.
actually make sure you read everything, if not at least play it before sending
Yes.
feedback. So when they look at you, they say, "Well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This isn't even in the alpha."
Yes.
Don't do a epic Redditor moment is what I'm saying.
Yeah, don't be a Redditor. That's cringe. You've been listening to our show long enough to know how a citation fucking works.
Yeah, if you send feedback with citations to their own document, holy shit, you're just doing their job for them at that point. But
Yeah, correct. And they'll be more likely to listen to you. And also, just because you talked about it within, like, example, in our Discord, I'm happy people are having discussions about this and opinions. Also, tell the devs, we don't work for White Wolf. Just because you said it around us does not mean they know.
yeah,
I mean, it'd be cool if they wanted to like start talking to us and ask our opinions on things and like
for sure
pay us. You know, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, I'm happy to give like critical feedback, and also, you know, if folks on the team want us to collab or give input, that's fine. That's cool. We can talk about that. It's fine. But just because like we're cool like that does not mean like we're cool like that, if that makes sense. Because that was the other half of the pissing me off factory, is people would tell me actually really smart in-depth critiques on like mechanics or lore questions and stuff for V6. But then they would look at me like they expected me to have an answer for it, and I'm like, I'm not in the editor's room, dog. I just have a weird academia hyperfixation. Like, I can't control what's happening. So please go tell the devs whatever your input is. Please, for the love of fuck. And be nice about it. I'm not saying softball it. I'm just saying, you know, be a
Don't
respectful
go over there
adult.
And just start screaming.
Yeah, if your response is, I don't like this. This fucking sucks. and like that's all you say, that's garbage input. Or if you like something and you go, I like this, but you don't tell them like what you actually like and why, that's also garbage input.
To some degree, although statistically, if you just say you like something, people are more likely to take that than they are if you just say, I don't like this.
Yeah, that's
Positive
what you
feedback
do.
usually needs less citation to be
Yeah,
taken
that's
seriously. So keep that in mind if you're giving negative feedback too, because there's a lot of people who are just gonna play this and be like, it's cool.
Yeah, if you go in with a, hey, I liked this, and I think this, and this need works on, and this portion here, I don't know why this is here at all. There you go. That's a good feedback.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so
Sorry to
taking
derail. I just had to throw that in.
no, that's a good discussion point. I was going to put some about that at the end, but I think getting it
Oops.
out of the way early is good. Sets an
Appreciate ya.
expectation for where we're going to.
Sarah
So
jumped ahead in the script this time.
It was
yeah.
me.
So we have the
Doesn't
clans.
it feel good? Doesn't it feel nice sometimes, Sarah? It's kind of cool. You're like,
Listen,
I'm a psychic.
I'm running on so much Iron Brew and Monster right now. Everything feels good.
Fair.
Another thing that they listed to make a love letter the storyteller system is
Mm-hmm.
disciplines, but they're very vague here. It just
Mm-hmm.
describes what disciplines are. It doesn't talk about how they're using those to tie into old editions. So
Mm-hmm.
next episode when we do rules, we will do a discipline section. I'll probably pick a discipline tree or two and we can kind of look over it and discuss how that actually shakes out.
Sorry, one sec. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so we'll dig into that next episode a little bit more. I feel like that's going to take some actual like looking into. It's kind of hard to
Mm-hmm.
summarize the changes quickly because they're a little more nuanced, I think, than some of the other big changes. One of the other ways that they're writing this love letter is with dots and dice pools. The classic dots and dice pool mechanics preserved but updated. Oh boy, are they updated. I think this has been one of the most controversial changes I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but the basics are they've gone back to the Chronicles dice, where 8 and up is a success. But
Mm-hmm.
they've also removed almost all contested dice rolls. So the ST doesn't roll dice anymore. Instead, they set a difficulty for an action up front,
Mm-hmm.
and then whatever that difficulty is, the player subtracts it from their dice pool. So I have my Ventru character sheet from the playtest right here. So
Mm-hmm.
say I'm running from a werewolf, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
giving a dex and athletics. I have 2 in dex, 2 in athletics, and I have a specialty in running. So that's a dice pool of 5. I'm running from a werewolf. That's a difficulty of 4. So I would subtract 4 dice from my pool and I'd roll 1 die.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
And
the
you gotta hit an 8.
TLDR. I fucking don't like this. It's one of the reasons I fucking don't like Chronicles. I think Chronicles is a nightmare system for me personally. I'll save more details for it when we do the disciplines and all that next episode.
I just don't. I think it removes all the tension
Mhm.
when you're told the difficulty up front, and then
It can be.
you look at your dice pool and let's just so during my playtest without
Yeah.
spoilers, something came up and we had a challenge with a difficulty of 6. For that
Jesus.
challenge, most of the players couldn't even get a pool that high for that challenge. They also had initiative rolling, so
Mhm.
it just felt awful being like, all right, it is Jared's turn. Jared, I don't have a pool. I accept failure. All right, next person's turn. I don't have a pool. I accept failure. All right, Tim, your turn. I have 1 die.
Yeah, no.
And
This will happen several more times.
I will also add there is no exploding dice. There's no doubling dice. We'll get into it a little bit later, but tens no longer turn into 2 successes or let you re-roll. They now give you a meta currency that we'll talk about in the next section. So
Uh-huh. I'm being
over
good.
overall the dots are pretty much seem to work the same, and the way you build your pools pretty much the same.
Okay.
But how the dice themselves work, very, very, very different. They're also only, I believe that's 13 skills. They've cut the skill list down a lot, but the skills are designed to kind of mix and match with more of the attributes more.
Okay.
So that's something I'd have to play test out to really get a feel with. Even a one shot is really hard to tell, because that is a big difference. But at the end of the day, I do think World of Darkness can be seen as one of those games that's got the 90s stat bloat.
Yeah.
So cutting that down, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. But that is going to affect the value of the dots that you do have and how you build pools. So definitely worth noting, I think, in this section.
It's one of those. I'm I'm usually an advocate for streamlining things as much as possible because I've found in games it's a lot easier to adjust for your table to add a thing if you need it as opposed to taking out a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like I know the core sheet says you only have 6 skills. Because of this game we're running, I'm gonna offer this extra skill as an option. Just fuck it. That's so much easier to manage than hi, there's 40 skills. 6 of them you can use for the same fucking check.
It also, I think, helps. Like, I like the specificity of skills a lot of the time, but I also think that it starts to get to the point where it's like, cool, I put a bunch of dots in this thing, and it's pretty specific, so it comes up twice ever. You know what I mean? And it's a lot easier to do that when there's 30 skills.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it works better for certain games than others. Like a game like Shadowrun, you want a big, crunchy, huge set of stats. Like that's just how that game goes. I think something more narrative like Vampire could get away with a smaller skill set. So we'll have to play test that and see. But that was one of the things that I was neutral to good on when I saw it change. Very much like, okay, that could work.
We'll have to see. Yeah.
Yeah. So the final way that they are writing this love letter is through meta plot support, which I think is the big one. This is what is a make or break. But quote, the history of World of Darkness preserved, advanced, and represented in the rules. So we did get some lore updates. I haven't finished reading the entirety of the playtest packet, so I believe there's some more hints at the lore in there a little bit too. But some of the major ones they talked about in the presentation, and I mentioned earlier the Giovanni. One of the things they talked about in the presentation is the promise of 1528 and that coming into play. So that may have something to do with why the Giovanni are the Giovanni again. Let's see, they also mentioned that the beckoning is over.
I have two feelings about that. One, I wonder if they're like, well, we weren't quite ready for that, so let's just backtrack that a little bit. And the second one is why. That's worrying, I think, right?
I think that's more worrying.
Kind. Yeah, just like we're beckoning, we're not beckoning. Excuse me?
It's like, I'm sorry, did you guys get enough soldiers? What does this mean? What do you mean?
Are we done drafting now?
Oh no, the NBA draft is done? Fuck. Are we gonna have a regular season, or are we just going immediately to, like, is it called the Sweet 16? I don't know, top 32, whatever the fuck, whatever sports people do. I don't know. The bracket. I'm aware of the bracket.
We're just going straight for the cup. Everybody's playing at once. One ball, 30 teams. Let's go.
I guess Prince Jackson's getting moved to the Sixers. All right.
Damn. Look, Chicago already lost the Bears. What else are we doing to them now?
See, some of the other, the Sabat is back. They didn't really go into detail, but they really, really like telling people that you can play the Sabat again.
I have such a mixed feeling about that.
Like, you never couldn't?
Like, one, there's really nothing stopping you outside of, I know. I could feel people in the audience going, well, the publishers didn't give me the things for the Sabat. And I'm like, dog, it was, as we've said in the Sabat episodes, if you really want to play a Sabat game in V5, it's really easy. Just take paths and put them into your convictions.
Done.
This is a nothing burger of a problem. I don't know why people were so pissy about it. I am also nervous about the Sabat in terms of the meta plot on how they're going to be written when they come back, because as I've said on the show, and I'm still a big advocate on, I like the Sabbat narratively when as they function as like a reflection of like extremists in the era that they're being written for. And I fucking loathe when the Sabbat are made out to be these like really edgy superhero anti-heroes. Bleh, fuck God, fuck them. I'm like, okay, cool. Take your little Nazi rape party and get out of my fucking house.
I think
I'm
I think
sorry.
that, and
I hate that shit.
kind of what I hinted at when I was talking about Dark Sun too.
Mhm.
I'll be the dark woke host of the show, but like I think
Not dark woke.
certain types of narratives require certain dark themes and topics.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
from like Dark Sun, I think it would be
Hmm.
hard to put Dark Sun out in a modern era and have it actually be the setting that it was.
Hmm.
And like that's nothing against the people who wrote it at the time or the fans of it, but it's what these mega corporations are willing to write and sell, and what people in the
Hmm.
community are going to throw a fit over because they can't understand theming reflecting real life. Like, yes,
Hmm.
like chattel slavery and forced death gladiator fights existed in our own history,
Hmm.
and
And they
we
were in fact bad.
but
Yeah.
I see a big thing with the Sabbat too, like that. Like, where's the Sabbat gonna land? Where they have to sell a product that they're gonna bring to market?
Yeah, for sure. It's like I'm not against people playing villains. Like I like playing villains. That's why I'm a fucking storyteller for World of Darkness. God damn it. But like how do I best explain this? We exist in a cultural time, particularly in the gaming sphere, where there are actively fascists that use the gaming community as a way to recruit for their bullshit. And Sabbat games, unfortunately, are really good cover for these kind of guys that are gonna come in and go, haha, it's just a joke, but what if, wink, to like vibe check people and then pipeline them. So like this isn't me being like, ooh woo, I don't like the plot. Like this is like actively potentially endangering the community if this is handled not well. Like I'm not trying to be cute about this. Like this
I
is
mean, look at
actively a
40K.
problem. Yeah, yeah, like 40K. Like hell, even like I've played vampires since like the aughts, and I've had to deal with like weird Nazis showing up in gaming spaces. And they try to go, well, it's fine because I'm playing like, oh god, what's fucking Get?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're playing a Get of Fenris, and they're like, oh, it's fine. I'm wearing all this Nazi paraphernalia. It's part of my character. And I'm like, yeah, but you're also vibe checking people for your weird fucky bullshit. And I really think you need to put your teeth on the curb, personally. But apparently, I'm wrong for pointing this shit out. So that's my big like, hey, I'm glad people want to play your edgy whatever the fuck god killers. That's fine, whatever. But it's plainly in the text who also is in that room with you, and I really am like, I'm putting a lot of faith in the writers to handle this responsibly. And if it's not, I'm gonna have a lot of loud feelings about it.
Yeah,
Sorry for being
I
serious for a moment.
no, I think that's my biggest worry about the whole thing is that they're just offhandedly being like, you can play Sabbat again with like no details or whatsoever or how they're handling it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Although that was kind of the vibe I got from a lot of the presentation is very
Mm-hmm.
much just kind of like them throwing out loose ideas to the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't seem to really go into detail about much. So
Yeah, it's like I understand for marketing you need to like tease and like go, hey guys, we got something in the works. Bleh. There's just a handful of things. The Sabbat is one of them where it's like I really need more details, dog. Like this can go so bad so quick. It's kind of the same thing if somebody's like, hey, we're bringing the Bali back as a playable clan. I'd be like, dog, I need so many details.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What is this? What's happening? What are we doing with this? So yeah, sorry about the serious moment. Also Hunter has a note about the Anarchs quote unquote winning and whatever the fuck that means.
yeah, there's a weird comment made during the announcement video too about how basically the Camarilla is kind of doing their thing, but the Anarchs have basically won, and how they have to contend what winning means in a structureless society. You watched the announcement video, right, Sarah? Yeah, that part
Yeah.
seemed bizarre, and they
Weird.
didn't really go into any detail. And
Yeah, I'm just like, what do you mean by the Anarchs are winning? Do you mean like just like the Anarch free states in like the LA area? Do we mean like the Anarchs more broadly? Because if they're continuing the Anarch like the second revolts, I think that's cool, and I think getting that fleshed out to be a more cohesive like sect unit movement would be good. But there's nothing really in 5th edition that indicates that any of that is what was happening, or I don't know where they pulled this out of their ass. So I'm very curious about how we're sticking this fucking landing.
Yeah, I feel like the
And I
Anarchs
say
have
this as
always
somebody who
been on
likes.
their back foot.
Oh yeah, no,
Always on the
entirely.
back foot, always just trying to catch up. That's kind of the thing.
That's kind of the thing. I'm a consummate Anarch player, and I'm sitting here going, "Hey, it's cool if my quote unquote my team wins," but I'm also sat here going, "Girl, how?
Ow. Yeah.
What do you mean?" Did the Cambria just fuck up that bad that we're just kind of we got the flag on the hill and it's like, I guess we won. They all laid down.
The only way I can really see this happening is if the Camarilla like fell apart with enough infighting that the Anarchs and the Sabbat were able to crawl back out. Like maybe some of the Sabbat had infiltrated the Camarilla and flipped on them, and that flip gave the Anarchs more space to take over than like the Sabbat that weren't just like insane murder sex beasts did
Probably
just
the
like
Lasombra that brought their sires to the tower.
Yeah, if it's like the Lasombra doing the parable of like the scorpion and the frog.
Yeah.
Like that could be cool. And then the Anarchs are just kind of again holding the basket at the end going, oh fuck, I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah.
Both those
like,
guys thought both those guys thought they were going to be in charge, but I guess we're here now.
Yeah, just like how do you it's literally that scene from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like, how do 3 grown men not have a savings account? And just the Anarchs are like, the economy's in shambles. Like that could work, I guess. I don't know. That's okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they are supporting the meta plot though.
What'd you get, John?
Calling it. The Lasombra start doing their shit, and then they reach out to the Ministry, and they're like, "Hey, you remember how they fucked you so bad? You want to help?" And the Ministry's like, "Oh, yeah, we can like destroy and corrupt that system too."
Oh my god! If it turns into the Anarchs are just run by the fucking Church of Set, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
It'll be so good.
It's like Slut Squad rides again. Let's go, baby.
Can never defeat the Slut Squad.
Cannot defeat Slut Squad. That's a terrible inside joke, guys. If you decide to take part in the Gen Con LARP that we partake in, so I'm gonna apologize right now.
It'll be 2 years, to be fair. We have 2 years for them to prepare.
Well, it's time for you and Hunter and Allure and our various other friends to get like extra slutty.
Every time I go to Goodwill, I try to find good shirts I can make into crop tops.
Hell yeah.
Motivation to keep going to the gym, I guess.
There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, so that is their main design goals as far as like tying it back to the old stuff. They also this is the part that I think has a lot of people worried. So the modern dynamic gameplay is what they're calling it. So quote, at the same time, we want a system that's more agile, dynamic, and more in tune with the way games are played today. Less book flipping and more play. We work toward this goal via the following, and there's a bunch of lists, but I would say, and not to be a dick, but if you want less book flipping, just lay your books out better.
Yeah.
Give us a fucking chart.
Yeah. I don't remember. Hunter, did you watch the announcement from Darkness Emergent?
I don't think so.
Cool. I had multiple people on the inside send me their videos of that announcement.
Oh boy.
I got people. I did not realize I had people, but I have people. So I watched the Darkness Emergent announcement. And one of the things I was really hyped about that was like one of the first things that was announced about books going forward is making sure the book layouts going forward are able to be used as actual reference. The reference game book is actually a reference book.
Whoa.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, fucking please. I've been screaming and crying for this for almost all of my gaming life. It's like World of Darkness. I love the fluff. I love the way the books look like they fuck. I love the vibe. I just need a section in the book that has all the charts, please. Just one section where it's like, here's the nerd section in the back. It has all the charts and everything. And then the rest of the book, we can run amok with theatrics and writing shit in character and weird fonts that are hard to read. So I have to copy paste them into Google Docs.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was funny. I saw some of the people discussing all this online, and there were people who's like,
mhm.
the book layout's too clean, and it worries me the direction they're taking this. So the community's gonna have to do some adjusting. That was maybe one of the funniest posts I've seen.
The layout is too clean. I don't trust it. I'm like, fuck off. I'm sorry. Above board, and this is a bad habit I got into over Gen Con. I enjoy the comedian Caleb Heron. And he's got this bit that's been around for a while, and I fucking love it. But it's him getting a comment from a shitty guy online making fun of Caleb for being overweight. And the comment is, "This guy looks like he broke into the bakery and ate all the pies." And Caleb's like, "Yeah, I read that comment, and my first response is, I'll kill you with a gun. What do you mean I ate all the pies? That is a soft ass comment. Fuck off." So hearing I can't believe this book layout is legible and too clean. I don't trust it. My brain played Caleb in my head going, "I'll kill you with a gun," and I'm like, that's not correct. That's not the correct response. That's insane.
I do think that is like the number one thing. Like if they can maintain just like a better book layout, easiest
Mhm.
way to get new players without having to make major changes and scare old ones away. Like just
Yeah.
keep the artwork cool.
Yeah, if the
Keep it.
aesthetic fucks and you can find what you need, you're there. You're golden. You're so gold.
Yeah. Some of the ways that they are modernizing the gameplay, at least as far as their design goals here, are their
Mhm.
quote improvisation tools. Quote, storytellers get tools and resources to quickly create situations and NPCs on the fly. So yeah, there is NPC creation, which is cool.
Which is good.
And
I'm not mad at that.
because things use challenges, you don't need full stat blocks for every NPC. Even though I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of the whole challenge thing to begin with. That does make NPCs quicker, which is nice.
Yeah. Quick side note. You could already do that in 5th edition.
Yes.
That's been a thing in 5th edition the whole time. What are you talking about? What? Okay. Continue, Hunter. I'm sorry. I just needed to yell that.
This one confuses the shit out of me because they're calling it a modern dynamic gameplay. And I feel like this has existed since like the 1800s. But
Which is?
shared narrative. Players are invited to shape the story through shared narrative opportunities.
You mean
Like
collaborative storytelling, which is
So
just
we're
what
playing
World
a
of
role-playing
Darkness
game?
is? So we're
Yeah.
playing a role-playing game?
Yeah, first edition
Okay,
World of
good to
Darkness
know.
had that. Or
You mean to
first
tell me you're
edition
playing
D&D.
a World of Darkness? Wow.
Wild.
Sorry, that's really mean. I'm being a bitch. I'm so sorry. It's just I'm here for
It
the
feels
collaborative
kind of silly.
storytelling, guys. It's a little silly to say it like that.
I think
I
trying to sell it
understand.
as a modern improvement.
Yeah, that's the part that's driving me insane because it's like getting folks into World of Darkness like from Dungeons and Dragons, for example. Usually, my big selling point is, hey, you know how you get into Dungeons and Dragons and you really like doing the storytelling aspects and the role play, so it's like people like playing Dungeons and Dragons where it's like mostly role play and a little combat. It's so easy to slot them into World of Darkness where it's just like, cool. If you really want to be a wizard, we can stick you in Dark Ages, but like if you like a lot of role play and a little bit of combat or like a little bit of puzzle, this is kind of
Here
your
it is.
game, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I guess having to reiterate that to the glut of people that have come into the gaming space because of Dungeons and Dragons and the popularity of like crit roll and all that, and they just don't know other systems. I'm fine with the marketing saying, hey, you have a collaborative narrative. What do they say? A narrative? What the fuck was it, Hunter?
Shared narrative.
Yeah, I'm cool with them reiterating there's a shared narrative element to this game. Why it's quote unquote a modern storytelling update is like wild take, dog. I'm confused. I would love to get more explanations on what that thought was.
Have we been playing V5 wrong?
Have you been playing
We're not allowed to
V5
do
wrong?
that.
Or we
I mean,
were ahead of the curve.
Were we? I
Yeah.
refuse to believe that.
Yeah, no, I'm being sarcastic. No, I honestly think we'll get into it more next episode, but there are I would say pretty hip in the gaming system right now mechanics that they are trying out in this playtest. We'll talk about that when we talk about rules. And I think that's specifically what they're referencing, but they're just not mentioning that in the goals section here in the PDF. So
yeah.
Which I get. This is a quick overview, but
yeah.
we also have
that's fair.
We also have streamlined mechanics, so simplified mechanics, a condensed skill list, and player-facing rules. Player-facing rules, great. Like I said, player packet is bigger than the ST packet.
Perfect.
Simplified mechanic, we got to playtest it to speak on it. That's really all I can say there. Condensed skill list we already talked about, but pretty much got to try it out. Not really pro or against yet.
Yeah, there's one mechanic I'm gonna be honest, dog, I'm really fucked off about, and I'm really hoping it does not survive alpha, and if it does, I will not be using it when I play V6.
And it might be the next thing I'm about to bring up. There's the last of the modern game for their modern dynamic gameplay is supported social interactions. A new mechanic structure now helps to support social interactions, one of the most common aspects of playing Vampire. So during the playtest, there is a social scene, and the social scene uses their new social combat mechanic, which was in V5. But I believe this is updated. I didn't use the V5's social combat too much, but I will say this was the thing that drove me the most insane. It was fun in passing to sit down, play one shot. It was like a 2-hour one shot, you know what I mean, testing on mechanics.
Yeah.
But it felt very anti-cinematic. It felt very anti-World of Darkness, and it felt kind of clunky. So first of all, they're giving social scenes initiative, and it's based on your wits. So
I need to explain to you guys the amount of German expressionist horror that passed over Skipper's face that you guys could not see because we have cams and you don't was startling. He looked like the guy from Dr. Caligari that's like, I'm the monster?
So, for example, I played the Ventru. The Ventru in the playtest is more of a social character. Wow, who would have guessed?
Who would have fucking guessed?
So, we had just gotten out of a long fight scene, which is the worst of all my sets. So I didn't do a whole lot. Then we got a social scene coming up out of character and makes sense in character. We're like, oh, well, we'll let the Ventru lead. Like because I was like, I know what to say. I got this. Ready to do it. And then it's like, all right, everyone, what's your wits? And then your wits determined your initiative. And so instead of, oh, hey, we all agreed this one character is going to take the lead on this interaction with these NPCs. All right, well, according to initiative, even though you're the social character, your wits is your lowest skill in that tracker. And so you're going like fifth.
And so everybody else had to pretty much just say, I'll hold my action.
Literally, the challenge was so high, some of the other players couldn't do anything. They literally just had to immediately accept failure. So they were forced to interact somehow and then accept failure because they didn't have enough dice or the meta currency, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay, so before we get to the meta currency, just that alone fucks me off so hard. That's
huge bad.
A nightmare.
That's
a nightmare.
How are you going to set up your players to have to do something that they can't accomplish?
Yeah, basically,
like literally cannot accomplish.
Literally, that's a humiliation ritual that you're forcing your players into. That fucking sucks. I'm sorry.
I think that's my biggest problem with the difficulties, the difficulty ratings, is because it sets that up. Like, at the very least, if I'm rolling, to punch a Methuselah, like, I know what's going to happen here. I'm going to lose, but I get to roll, I get to try, and there is that tiny, tiny chance.
There's a tiny chance. Yeah.
There's a tiny chance and I might get 5 crits,
Yeah, like, is the odds good? Fucking no.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna get hurt. It's almost a guarantee, but it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, and particularly for, like, Vampire is a very social heavy game. I think there are situations where having social combat where it's structured would make sense. But that would be like you're in a Elysium that's very old and traditional where like the way you enter a room fucking matters. So it's very if it's a situation very akin to, I don't know if either of you guys ever played Legend of the Five Rings.
The card game?
The tabletop version of that.
Oh, no, I played the card game once.
Yeah. So I played the tabletop version of that, and there's classes that are strictly social, like courtiers and like government bureaucrat scribes and stuff like that, or like geishas, where their whole thing is social combat, and it's very like animu structured. There's initiative, it matters, and if like at any point you bork, playing the shamisen, or you bork playing go, or you bork playing doing a tea ceremony, like you're socially, like, you're fucked. So like social combat being that stringent there makes sense, and you can set that up to be narratively very dramatic and kind of cinematic. I don't think 80 to 90% of Vampire needs that. Why?
No,
The
and like
only positive that I see from it is
Mhm.
giving players who might be more shy or might be a little bit slower on the like player
Mhm.
wits side,
Yeah.
giving them an opportunity to just be like, okay, do you have something to say? Because I know that there have been times where like
Mhm.
you and I have been at a table, me, you, and Hunter, all three of us have been at a table, and we've had people on there, and we just go and we're like, oh yeah, we know what we're doing. Like we're talking, we're in character, we're role playing, and they're
Mhm.
in character, but they might not know quite how to slot in as well or as
Yeah.
easy. So like I think that all three of us are pretty good at being like, okay, hold on, what do you have to say? You know?
Mhm.
But I think that that's the only thing I can think of in social combat that I like for vampire right now.
Yeah. That I could see like before social combat or a social engagement would start having a mechanic where it's like, hey, we're taking a pause, like in a video game, where you have a dialogue wheel. So you guys can decide who on the team is taking point on this.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's fine and fair. But outside of that, I'm just like, why? Why is social combat initiative being structured based off of an intelligence stat? That's
Because you
what?
got to be witty for social combat, you see.
Then which should be a fucking social stat?
yes, and you do take damage during social combat, so you take willpower damage.
Yeah. Oh, like
So,
in V5?
Yeah,
yeah.
which you've always taken.
But
Sorry.
because these stats tie into more things, even as
Mhm.
playing a younger vampire in this playtest, we'll go over character creation so we can talk about because generations back and a lot of that kind of stuff plays into it more. But these stats are way higher. Like my character, who I believe shouldn't be too far from like a character creation basic character, has
Mhm.
11 willpower.
Jesus Christ.
It's a lot of
Out of
And
willpower.
how much?
I don't know what the max cap is. That's just how many dots
Oh,
is on the player
Jesus.
sheet. So the player sheet doesn't have like a max number and you have X of that max number. The way this is
Okay.
built out, it only shows the amount you have. Like
Oh,
the
okay.
skills are all capped at 5 still. Those are you have
Okay.
2 black dots, 3 white dots, you know what I mean? There's it's set out like the
Yeah.
old character sheets. But with
Yeah,
Vitae
yeah,
and willpower, it only shows the amount you have.
Okay, so that's a little bit closer to like V20 and older sheets. Okay.
Yeah. So
Which
these
makes me
off
nervous. I don't
um
there's a
I'm
mechanic
gonna
there
have
I also don't
37
like.
health.
There's another mechanic there I don't like, but we'll talk about that next episode. I'll be cool. I'll be cool. I'm being good.
Great job. Proud of you, bud.
Thank you. At least somebody is. Yee.
yeah.
Uh
They have a couple more goals here. I don't think we'll dive into these as deep because we're going to save some of
yeah.
this, but I think just going over
Oh,
their design goals is a good introduction to
yes.
V6.
Oh,
So
with
oh, did you have something you want to say?
yeah, the last thing on the modern stuff that I want to touch base on because it was like such a big what the fuck was the challenge coins. Are we saving that for next episode?
No, that's coming up under one of these upcoming design goals they
Ooh.
have listed out. We'll get to it. Don't worry. We'll talk about
Sick.
the metal
I'll wait.
currencies.
I'm biting. I'm biting at the bit. I want to yell. I'm being good.
We're gonna get into those big time next. Those are one of the main things I want to talk about because I feel like
Perfect.
they are. But also one of the other things they want is play as self-expression. So quote: the characters the players create are a reflection of their fantasy. Players have more ways to customize their characters and make their characters their own, not only through stats but through the way they're handled their monstrous nature. So one of the big things is humanity tracker is different. Hunger dice are gone first of all, and now your humanity scale is a sliding. It's more like a gauge. It goes up and down. I mean, it did previously, but at one end you have your beast, and at the other end you have a new thing called your nature, which is the human who you were before you became a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more about the struggle between those two things fighting for control of this monster. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can go into like a bestial frenzy, but you can also go into like a nature frenzy, I guess. I'll call it for now. I don't have the exact wording they use in front of it, but for example, using my Ventru Victoria here. Um, so um, so the Ventru frenzy is arrogance. When you frenzy, the need to rule rears its ugly head. You stop at nothing to take command of a scene. So like kind of like V5, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if your clans. But there's also nature. So the nature that this character has is perfectionist. You strive for perfection, and your outburst is perfectionism.
Mm-hmm.
there's no description for that on the character sheet. So we can dive into that when we dive into that more next episode.
Okay.
Because this is also one of the things I'm sure people are going to want us to talk more about.
Yeah.
I find
I'll
those
give a.
two
Oh,
kind
you
of
go ahead.
hard to separate.
Okay.
Like I feel like maybe, and that's just character choices. You're making a certain character. It's hard to judge the whole
Yeah.
system based on that, but I feel like arrogance and perfectionism are very
Mm-hmm.
similar. So to have those be the two sides pulling at a character is interesting. You could definitely do stuff with it, but I feel like it doesn't give you the best idea of how this system's going to really play out long term. So we'll have to. I'll pull up one of the other characters when we do talk about that, and we can even just look at the fucking book, look at some of the examples in there. So,
Yeah.
I
That
see.
one's one of my kind of positive on, but that was my only note.
yeah, that's actually my
I
favorite thing so far. Go ahead, John.
I like the idea a lot. I was hoping that like the humanity side of Frenzy would be more like you've done the self Ghost Rider thing where you're just like,
Mhm.
oh fuck, I'm reliving all the shitty stuff I've done, and like you just are horribly in touch with your humanity for a minute. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that.
Uh,
It sounds more like it's gonna be like I'm an asshole, but in a different way.
yeah, I'd prefer to be like the existential dread side where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm watching my sense of self die in real time, and how do I square that
Yes.
circle?
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean
Yeesh.
Yes.
that's the way it seems like it should play to me. So you have 7 dots on your humanity
Mhm.
scale. Left side monstrous, right side mortal. You kind of move back and forth across that tracker, and once you hit all the way on one side, there's another 5 beasts or 5 dots for beast, 5 dots for nature. I believe you
Mhm.
fill those out, and that's kind of the same as when you used to lose humanity and you went down the tracker permanently. I believe you're marking one of these 5 dots on the side permanently as like you've gone to your beast. Oh, you've gone to your nature. And it is interesting going through the book. One of the things I saw was talking about was like when you beasts pretty similar, but like going to your nature, you might decide to try and gain penitence for all the awful things you've done as a vampire. You might seek final
Mhm.
death. You might basically become a monk. Like it is kind of like you were saying, like you are becoming very aware of how terrible you've become and you decide to do something about it. Whether it's just like that existential dread or just going like fully catatonic as you relive all the babies you've murdered or whatnot. Um,
Fucking Jerry the baby killer just will not quit killing babies, and now and again he has a feeling about it. Crazy.
but yeah, so it'll be
Damn,
interesting.
what a
That's
curse. You just live all of what would have been the potential life of every baby you've killed.
Just
oof.
oh fuck, this one could have killed Elon Musk. Fuck.
Damn it, I fucked up. I fucked up real bad. That's what puts you in the catatonic state. It's that one specifically.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this mechanic I think could be really cool, but I could also see this yeah, as Hunter said, playing two flavors of the same dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, depending on how you're doing it, it's like I don't like playing like humanity is morally good because humans are complicated and messy, and if you're gonna have a character that is just gonna be two flavors of the same dickhead, like what does that mean narratively? Is there any redemption for this guy, or is he just fucked and we're just watching this guy be a fuck for weeks
Yeah.
on end?
And like you could always do
Oh.
like the beast, the superior thing. You are like an
Mhm.
arrogance thing. You are like an Elon Musk or someone type where you're like, I have to be the coolest guy in the room. I have to prove myself. Whereas like if you go to your perfection side, you might be more of a Steve Jobs where you're like, I don't care if it'll cost 5 times as much, and heat 3 times as fast. The chip layout needs to be symmetrical on this computer board because what if someone were to open it up and look at it?
Even though it also void their warranty.
Yes.
Fuck a warranty.
But yeah, so there's also we'll talk about these more later. There's
Mhm.
also improved player agency, so players now choose how they fail, how they suffer, and how the beast takes hold when it happens inevitably. So choose how they fail and stuff. That's a mechanic we got talk coming up in a little bit. And
Mhm.
then also just it says unique characters. Players have distinct ways to tell their stories and play the characters through life paths, clan traits, merits, natures, and more. So life paths are interesting. They're like these little choices you make that describe who you were before you were a vampire again. So it's a little more of their human side, like and they do give you stats and that sort of thing. And we can dig into that in the character creation episode. We'll save that for that. But like just as an example, my Ventrue here, her life path was criminal. You made your living by breaking the law, and then corporate executive. Your favorite battlefield was a corporate board meeting where you exercise your quick wits and sharp acumen. So
Crazy that you have quick wits, but you go 5th in social combat. Sorry.
Yeah, her wits is actually her second lowest stat overall.
That's crazy.
Beat only by strength. But they're also clan traits, I believe. I believe there's a choice of these. Again, we'll get into that in character creation, but I do think it's interesting. So like they change how some of your powers work. So there are things that'll happen with the disciplines that'll only work with individual clans. So like one of the clan traits here for Ventrue was obedience. Your voice can also transmit your dominate powers, even through electronic devices. So like you can use dominates through the phone if you have this Ventrue clan trait.
Okay.
That's cool.
And then the other one,
clan traits I'm here for.
And the other one is rationalize. So victims of your dominate powers rationalize their behavior. So if you use like command to make or someone do something, accidentally muted there, they will be like, oh well, I did that because of this, this, and this. So I think those are cool. And like I said, I believe there's some choices for the clans, or that's the plan. I should hope so if they're using that as an example of how characters are going to be unique, giving players choices. So we'll dig into that in the player choice. We also have merits again.
Or more merits.
Well, it's a new edition, so we have merits again. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, just merits. Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah, this one will come up more next. The next one is every choice has consequences. A lot of this is looks like it's dice stuff, so we'll talk about it more next episode. But like they're bringing back degrees of failure, so greater failures can have devastating consequences. Is what they say, but you can have fails that go worse than a regular failure. I don't know. It's interesting. We'll get into it. We already talked about the new beast in nature thing, so they talk about that a lot. Also, there's now resource costs. So powers cost your humanity, blood, and will. So casting disciplines usually costs blood. I believe some cost willpower. I haven't specifically seen any that cost humanity, but from the sound of it,
gonna be Oblivion.
Yeah.
It's probably as it fucking should.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
You're fucking in Cthulhu magic. Yeah, that should probably cost you your soul just a little bit.
And from what I've read, I haven't gone through all of them, and I only played one clan so far, but I believe when you cast a power, it costs, so like if you cost a 1 dominate discipline, it costs 1 vitae. So it's like a 2 costs 2, a 3 costs 3. That's the part that like the other big thing that really bothered me is that instead of having like the multi-tiered health like in previous editions, they combined health down into one line and then also included it with blood. So you have one line called Vitae, and it is your health and blood.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea that a gangrel getting like in a big fight and been trying to tank this thing and then being like, oh shit, it's time to pop claws, I guess. And then they pop claws, they use the Vitae, and then they die.
Yeah, and also like abilities like you're saying the tank have to be fucking powerful. Say you're dropping a 2 to help you soak damage. You're taking 2 damage to use that ability. So you're gonna have to be soaking some serious damage to make that worth it again. If the cost is health. If I'm spending health to not lose health.
Yeah, I'm also gonna be honest, Doc. This is an above board design theory. If your ethos is, I am here to streamline the mechanics of my game so it is to make it more player accessible, do not use soak. You're adding a level of complexity to a combat that doesn't need to be there.
So actually, I don't have soak on this venture sheet. Their only fortitude ability is unswayed mind, so that defends against mental attacks. So, and I believe that just gives them a bonus die. I don't think it's a soak. I don't know if there's soak in this edition. I haven't directly looked into that. That's something we can look into next episode, though.
Yeah, if I find out there's soak in this after being told we're trying to streamline mechanics, I'm gonna throw something. Just like, what do you mean? It's like, we're here to make things like easier. And it's like, okay, so you've created a system, like Skipper pointed out, is you're having to spend health to save health, and then you're also complicating it further by having a soak mechanic. I'm like, I pray to God that's not actually in there. Holy shit. Please do not let that survive alpha if that's in there.
Yeah, so
it's like, so you're in physical, say you're in physical combat,
Yeah.
okay? And you're this gangrel who's been getting beat up on. You pop your claws, you don't fall to dead because you didn't use all your vitae. What is the DM role or the storyteller role to hit you? Or is it just okay, now you roll your defense, buddy, and let's see if you fail? Like, does that make sense? How does that work? Question mark.
let me go over that. That's something we can
we can hop into a different
in the rules episode. We can actually go over, but
kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's cool. I am happy to go over that in details on the rules episode, but above board, there's it seems part of the design ethos is to give players as much engagement as possible. But in doing so, I feel like it has removed some of the streamlining of things or why the fuck is the storyteller there?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of what I've read seems like it'll be very boring to storytell. You're not getting to roll dice. The meta currency that we're coming up on doesn't seem like fun to use. It's like earning permission points randomly. And then the other thing they have under every choice has consequences as a design goal is sacrifice. Rules that make you sacrifice something to gain something else. That's pretty obvious. That's always been in Vampire. You know, you're spending blood to use discipline, whatever. I think that's pretty straightforward, so that's fine. So here's where things get really interesting. We're almost through this. But so play generates conflict. As you play, the rules will help generate difficult situations and trigger events that complicate the character's circumstances, often in ways the players want to explore. One of the things that I thought was cool was the choose your pain mechanic. In dire moments, players choose how they suffer and what complicates their situation. So, like when you fail, you get to work with your ST for a couple different options. So you're deciding like how you fail the scenario, which I thought was pretty cool.
I have mixed feelings about it because it is very cool, giving your players agency to like, hey, this is how I want it to go wrong. I also feel like I've seen it a lot of tables. You frenzy, okay, well, or you get a bestial failure. That's a better example. You get a bestial failure. Okay, what do you think should happen? And I've sat at a lot of tables where I'm like, damn, that was a really bad failure. And then the person's like, maybe I stumble while I walk through the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how about you stumble and then you bash your face and you're bleeding, and like that is going to trigger that homie over there who's near frenzy, because this is a bestial failure. It needs to be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
So
correct.
I'm gonna go ahead
Does that
and
make
just
sense?
read. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just read the choose your pain thing. So like, there's a set of preset options that you can choose, or you can work with your storyteller to complicate the situation instead. There's a whole sidebar that they've called collaborative complications. So that's kind of what you're saying more, where it's like, all right, how about you stumble through the door and bust your nose and the blood makes someone hungry? But the preset ones that you can choose every time, and this is usually when you get a painful failure, which is when no successes and you get a 1 on your dice pool. So you can lose 3 vitae or willpower, your choice. You can lose all your quickening, which is one of the meta currencies we'll talk about more in detail in a bit. Mark 1 box off your beast tracker, so you start going to your beast. Or you can give 1 drama, which is the other meta currency, to the storyteller.
Yeah. I'm going to be extraordinarily frank. I already do this because there's shit for this in 5th edition. This is just how I've been storytelling the whole time, is when a character gets like a bestial failure, I go, okay, dog, bestial failure, yeah, you're going to get a compulsion. If the situation doesn't make sense for a compulsion, or a character already has compulsion and gets another bestial failure, I'm like, well, you can have a second compulsion at the same time. Or, yeah, it's like you can have a second compulsion, or we can have your hunger go up. We can have another complication, or you can have something go bad right now, or you can have a future problem. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to take a willpower damage instead? I already I'm just like, okay, I already do this. And a lot of these options kind of like already exist in the 5th edition book. So I'm like, okay, I'm a little underwhelmed. I'm sorry. Like this has been a thing. I guess if there's new codifications for it, I guess that's fine because to make it work more smoothly with the V6 system. But overall, I'm just like, okay, why were people not doing this before?
Yeah. The other
Big
mechanic that
question mark.
Big
yeah.
question marks.
They also have
Fair.
another mechanic that's similar but comes into play at a different time that falls
Mm-hmm.
under this that I think it's cool, but I'm not a fan of all the meta currencies and stuff. I feel like this is
Mm-hmm.
just like an ST toolkit that you could already have been doing in D&D kind of thing, but it's called a devil's
Mm-hmm.
bargain. So, quote, if you roll a failure but really want to succeed, you can propose a devil's bargain to the storyteller. The storyteller can reject it, but they must spend a drama to do so. To make a devil's bargain, propose a complication that will arise in play. The storyteller and the other players can make a case for a different or modified complication that fits the story better. If the storyteller accepts, treat the test as a basic success and give the storyteller one drama token. You can't propose a devil's bargain on a painful failure, and you can only do it once per scene.
Yeah.
That also
So
has been a
winning,
thing.
yes, I was gonna say winning at a cost. That is a thing in 5th edition without the meta currency. You can just do that. That's just free real estate. That's already there. What the fuck? Okay.
I wonder if they're having to like try to make these sound like new and exciting things because, new and exciting system with a new company. Well, quote unquote new company.
Maybe. I mean, listen, I as a storyteller, I love doing the devil's bargain winning at a cosmic thing. I love that shit. I think it's great because it's one of those, hey, if a player is invested enough to want to risk that biscuit, you risk that biscuit. You go, yeah, dog, I hear you. I see you. Give me that fucking biscuit. What jam are we putting on this motherfucker? Like, what
Is it
kind of
rope
hurt do you
flavored?
want? Yeah, like, are we getting your touchstone involved now? Like, are you taking an ag damage and you're losing the fucking arm for the night? Like, what are we doing? Is one of your dark
Yeah.
secrets getting out? Like, is the guy you thought was dead once in your backstory is now not dead? Ooh, what happened?
My dad.
Yeah. Or hey, you succeed at the cost. Your cost is now you have a cursed object and you don't want to put it down. I'll figure out what it does later.
Get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Devil's Bargain, I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it. I just again, all the extra meta currency play, I feel like it's the opposite
Yeah.
of streamlining and
Fun.
simplifying stuff.
Yeah.
When
I agree. Because like, what if you get to a section like there's something a player really wants to do and he or she is willing to risk that biscuit and they don't have the drama coins or they just fucked.
so yeah, so the we can dig into it now because the next one is honestly
Mm-hmm.
drama. I was skipping because they bring up the monstrous and mortal thing again in this section, but
Please
so
get that.
STs have drama and the players have quickening.
Why are there 2 coins? Okay, continue. I'm
They
sorry.
do different stuff and they don't trade one to one directly. It's not every time a player uses, I believe, so like say you do something expensive with your quickening that costs 5 tokens. I'm pretty sure the ST doesn't just get 5 drama tokens for that. I think they might get one. We'll go into that in detail next episode. But the same's
Yeah.
true. It's not like every time the ST uses a drama, everyone gets a quickening. They're separate currencies in that extent.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm gonna say flat out from the gate, as somebody who has to deal with fighting with 2 different currencies to just exist right now, that doesn't make life simpler.
Mhm. Wrong.
It's like, okay, yeah. It's just like, what the fuck? Just what do you mean? What do you mean these fuck ass coins? Fuck off.
I mean, I've seen people online comparing this to games I haven't played, the meta currencies and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
To me, the only game I've really played that I enjoyed it in was Deadlands
Hmm.
with its bennies system. But
Hmm.
bennies tend to be something that might come up like once a session. You know, bennies are kind of a big deal. They're
Yeah.
not
Or
something you're spending multiple times a scene or once per scene.
yeah, yeah, no. There's also the oh god, what's the bonus D6 inspiration? The inspiration die you can get in D&D
Yeah.
where it's like a hey, you did a cool role play moment or hey, you rolled super fucking good. Here's a bonus D6 you can roll and you can add that result to one of your random D20 rolls.
Yeah.
That's
Or
cool.
Edge. Edge was
Yeah,
kind of cool
Edge.
in Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Kinda. It was way
Yeah.
overly complicated, but that's just Shadowrun. So
Or hell, keeping it in WoD, in the new Hunter the Reckoning system where there's like the danger pool
Yeah.
oh
that
yeah,
players could pull from, where it's like a shared hey, things are fuckety, there's this pile of dice, if you want to pull from it to like get extra stuff you can, but it's one fucking dice pool that everybody can share. It's right there, it's black and white, clear as crystal. I'm trying to not be old man yells at cloud. I'm trying to not. I
No.
just don't understand when I'm being told the design ethos is to be streamlined and engaging for players, and I'm like, you've complicated it and you've created a system where we're basically like in the middle of our role play game playing dueling blue commander decks.
nobody
Uh
plays. I
and
want
I'm
to
a
play
blue
this.
player.
No, well,
Yeah,
no,
No.
because one of the things I've seen is like, and we'll get into it next, but like, so say a player uses one of their meta currency, a quickening, to add a dice to something or to flip a result or something. The
Mhm.
ST can then spend quickening or drama points to like cancel out their quickening to be like, nope, never mind. So it really is,
That
it does turn
sucks.
into blue magic back and forth. Like that's not fun. Like I think it's
Fun.
fun if I get like if I hit a no successes and a one trying to like break down a door, and they're like, fine, you break down the door and you stumble into a room of like three guys standing over as you look up.
Mhm.
Like that's a complication, that's something I just came off the top of my head and I didn't need coins to tell me to do it. But like I don't want to say, all right, you fucked up breaking this door down. All right, now let's shuffle coins back and forth for a second while we figure out what actually happened.
Yeah, no,
It feels like a tension killer in the same
yes.
way that I don't think I talked about it while we were recording. Maybe I did, correct me if I'm wrong, but with
Mm-hmm.
the difficulty instead of like dice pools,
Mm-hmm.
in that like, if I tell you there's a difficulty of 4, I don't have any social stats that can get me 4
Builds to
dice
that.
pool. So unless I have quickening to add to dice pools, even looking at my character sheet, it
You're just
also,
fucked.
I'm just fucked.
you
And
can't.
also like,
And then it's even more feel bad when you're like, okay, well, I'm fucked. You know what? I'll use a quickening so that I can at least roll. And your storyteller goes, well, I'll use a drama so you can't.
Yeah, that's
That
not adversarial in a fun
sucks,
way. That's
right?
just adversarial. That's just hostile.
Now,
That's
I think that's probably also on the storyteller to know when is a good time to be using drama and
Mhm.
whatnot. Like, I do have to say, I think, when you pick up the tools as a storyteller, you're kind of taking the responsibility to use them well. But I feel
Yes.
like this
yeah.
does kind of set you up or set bad storytellers up to make it not as fun for their players.
Yeah. It sets up storytellers that are
More,
not as skilled to feel entitled to do things that lead to bad times,
yeah.
or storytellers that are very hostile and aggro to be hostile and aggro, and if that isn't communicated well, that's also going to lead to a bad time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
also, back to the difficulty thing, but
mhm.
just a thought I had on that too, as well, is like it also like shapes how you're going into a scenario. Say you're in a social combat, because I really
Mhm.
hate social combat to begin with. But say we'll go with what I said. Say you go into it, and difficulty 4. They're mad at you.
Mhm.
They're mad at you, and they caught you breaking into their club.
Mhm.
Instant difficulty 4. Well, maybe I think it could be fun, or I could, try and use a little subterfuge, like hide my intentions of why I'm in there and be like cute.
Mhm.
Well, I have a charisma 3, subterfuge 2, so I'd get 1 die to roll there.
And
Yeah,
you're
I
aiming for
that's
instantly,
8. But the biggest issue with it is you're aiming for 8s still.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you have a 30% chance of success on there.
And then on top of that, like, but what I was gonna say is like, okay, but I'm looking at my character sheet. So if I just go straight manipulation and negotiation, say I have 3 in persuasion plus the specialization plus my manipulation dice. That's 8. All right, I get to roll 4 dice. So it's immediately guiding my gameplay because I already know what I need to succeed. So I'm going to pick the biggest one, no
Mhm.
matter what. Even if I
Yeah.
think maybe my character would approach this differently at the start. Maybe they wouldn't go with their best every time. You're being told the number up front, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I
You can
agree with that.
accept defeat and you get the quickening token. Oh boy.
Yeah, cuz like I'm gonna kind of lean into some of my recent like running tables for Start Playing, because that's just been where I've been running games recently. Hi guys, I'm on Start Playing. If you want me to run a game for you, hit me up. Anyways, uh, so I have players that are honestly really chill about playing characters doing a suboptimal like dice move, because the character choice makes more sense. Like in your example of a character trying to play things a little bit coy and close to the vest, that means a slightly lesser dice pool, but you still have a decent chance of like pulling it off, but maybe not as smoothly as you could if you had your optimized pool. So that's like led to some really interesting character moments and has guided players into spending their XP in new ways over the Chronicle, as opposed to like min-maxing their characters, where they're just like, oh, this character was built to be an intimidation factory, but over the course of the game, they've slowly realized, hey, maybe using persuasion and charisma and just being kind of chill now and again gets a better results or different results. So therefore, it's worth me spending the XP to invest in persuasion. Which is cool. That means that the players have more autonomy in character choices. And when your dice system just is just mechanically punishing your players for making a suboptimum choice for role playing in a game that's supposed to be role play heavy, that's crazy to me. I'm like, why would you do this?
Yeah, it's odd. And when you're putting the difficulty up front and there's no swing to it. Like
Mhm.
even like when we play, we don't really use storyteller screens most of the time. Like we're not hiding our
No.
dice rolls. We're not you know what I mean? I don't have a big pile of
Yeah.
secrets that I'm hiding from everyone at the table. Like I think sometimes it's fun to like let you guys see what I'm rolling cuz you rolled and you know what you have there's more tension in seeing like, all right, how well is this guy gonna do? You're physically
Yeah.
watching like the guy who just pulled a gun on you take a shot at you, basically. Like it has that
Yeah.
same like tension there of watching the die and taking those dice away and then putting that up a front with 4.
Yeah.
Figure out how to get
Yeah.
around that.
Because, like, yeah, so with V5 currently, it has options for you to either roll contested or have a difficulty. You can go either way. So there's a lot, I like having that flexibility as a storyteller to go, hey, there's a lot of situations. I will say, like, 75% of the time, I just have a difficulty number in my head. I'll have notes for a couple of like bigger NPCs or more important NPCs where like I have a stat block. I have not statted out a full NPC in like 3 fucking years. There's no need to. You don't need to do it for an NPC.
I
But
think
there's
the
been
big
times where
sorry,
oh sorry. You're good. I like having the flexibility where like yeah, there are times where it's more dramatic and fun for everybody to be like, oh hey, I'm in a combat or a battle of wits against an NPC and they want to see the dice. They want the big number to go brr. Sorry, editing
Yeah.
Hunter. I'm gonna wait till John is back. Hey John, we waited for you. I wanted your point to be said.
I forgot it. This is the fifth or sixth time Zoom has crashed. I've just been hella fast each time.
No,
Yeah,
no,
Oh
damn
yeah.
it. If it
I'm
comes
not
back, we'll stop. If that's okay.
okay. Yeah,
Hell
cool.
yeah.
But
Sounds
I but also like I think that's part of the improv fun as an ST that's being taken away. It's like you have a character that is a thief. You know, they're
mm-hmm.
good at picking locks. You guys are breaking into this office building to get something out of it. All right, well, I'm
Mm-hmm.
planning on this being not hard. In my head, I've got a difficulty 2. I'm using the difficulty. I'm not telling you, all right, difficulty 2, Mr. Lockpicker. It's just like, all right, roll me your security or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you roll. Oh, they actually don't get it. Well, we know this guy's a skilled locksmith. I think it would suck to say this is actually a terrible lock. You just fucked up and are bad now for some reason. So, well, actually, you try and pick this, and this actually turns out to be a really advanced lock, and it's not. All of a sudden, you have a new story wrinkle. It's like, wow, this building
Mm-hmm.
actually has really good security, and you improv and you move on
Why?
with that. Like that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's adding more interest to the story instead of just like, sorry, you're bad at this, I guess, Mr. Professional Thief. Moving on.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think there's I don't think there's anything wrong at all about just having target numbers or difficulty ratings. But like, yeah, like taking away from a pool, no fun.
Dating them up front.
Stating them up front, no fun. Hell, there are times that I've been storytelling where I've had a DC for you guys, and I'll just roll dice and barely look at them because it's tense, you know. Like if like in D&D when we were having screens all the time, did it freeze
Mm-hmm.
again? Oh no, okay,
No.
cool.
No.
When we were rolling screens, I would sometimes be like, roll, okay, yeah, you made it, because I knew the difficulty already. You guys beat it already, but it's more spooky if you hear the dice roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, god
Like
damn it.
that's part of the ST experience that I think is being lost. And I've seen a lot of people online complain about this. And some of the other reviews I was reading is it feels like people are saying, well, it feels like they're like one step away from replacing the ST with a chatbot if you don't actually have to roll or prep
Yeah.
anything. There's a set difficulty for everything ahead of time. Like,
It's just like a what the fuck am I doing? I feel like I'm just running a dating sim, which I'll be honest, half the time when I run Vampire, I'm running a dating sim. Which is
and
fine.
I can see both sides of this because I feel like the hardest part about ever playing any role playing game ever is finding a storyteller, finding a GM.
Yeah.
So making it
Well,
easier to GM
second hardest.
to
'Cause this
scheduling.
first,
What?
yes, first is scheduling. It's the
Yeah.
true BBEG of every RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's scheduling and then finding an ST. So I get the idea of making it easier to ST might bring in more
Mhm.
groups to play it because you have more people who are like, okay, I'm willing to give this a go. But also, if you're making it more boring for the
Yeah.
ST, people aren't going to stick around.
Well, that's also just kind of the interesting thing considering the time we're in right now because we're all having to deal with the AI bullshit and we're in a post-COVID lockdowns. COVID's not over, by the way, guys, but post-COVID lockdown era and with all the social media stuff, like people are craving genuine human interactions and like real art and like time to spend with your friends and shit like that. And like locking storytellers in a box that they can't escape from mechanically kind of is not it feels bad, man. It feels bad, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for having tools that make storytelling easier for people and for some tables I think having that coin currency, the drama coins, some tables that could be really useful if that's like an optional system they whack on to the new system going, hey, if you want these rules because it helps your table, fucking here's the rules, have at it, Haas. I'm never gonna use that shit. Like, and if that becomes a required mechanic for the new system, I'm just gonna have a house rule of I don't use this. I won't use this. If you require this to be at your game, don't be at my table. I don't like it.
That, and I don't know. I also just worry when you get to the point. I know it's not going to be as bad,
Yeah.
but we start hitting the levels of the game we were talking about over at the Patreon. The I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but written by some
Oh,
of
the
the
everlasting.
yeah, the everlasting, where if you have
God.
you have too many optional rules, but all the rules
Mhm.
have to reference each other, that the book just becomes a nightmare maze. Like, sure,
Yeah.
you make drama, you make quickening optional rules, but you have to reference them still everywhere throughout the book where they might come
Yeah.
up. And like eventually this
Yeah.
quick, easy to use reference guide is chock full of references to stuff that like players aren't using,
Mm-hmm.
tables aren't using. I know that's the whole point of
Mm-hmm.
optional, but like you get too
Yeah.
many of those and it's
Well,
gonna go in the opposite direction of this.
yeah. It's kind of one of those like kind of prime example from V5 is like the project rules.
Yeah.
The project rules were all put in one appendix. It was in one document that's like 4 pages. And it's one of a myriad of ways that you could handle a hey, your character has a goal that's gonna take a minute, that's gonna take some investment to do.
Yeah.
And they had a system that was like, hey, here's the project rules. Here's a couple of different ways you can do the running dice for this. Pick what works best for your situation, go. But I've been in a lot of games where I don't use the project rules. I've been in games where I'm like, hey, you guys are kind of initiating a project. Here's the rules for that. If you want to use the system, cool. If not, we can do something else.
Yeah.
That's kind
I
of how
mean,
I feel about the drama die, at least. Like, well, I don't know. I've also not played it. You did.
yeah, I feel like in the short playtest that I got, and we are going to playtest this together, so maybe I'm thinking about extending the playtest out because it felt very short.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, the
Mm-hmm.
playtest, for those who are interested, it's essentially a investigation scene, a combat scene, and a social scene. So you get a little bit
Okay,
of
solid.
everything. So it's one
Mm-hmm.
each, kind of a predetermined scene, and that sets up a longer story. So I might try and expand it out and maybe try and do two of each. Ooh. But
Ooh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa.
might. We'll see. We'll
You're
see
getting
how it
crazy there,
goes,
Hunter.
how we enjoying it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
How much we see in the rule book that we're like, I want to try this out, and I haven't gotten a
Yeah.
chance yet. I will literally say, story's not the best written, but guess what? We got to try this mechanic. We want it out live for y'all.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm willing to fudge stuff around, add stuff. We can have test play dummy the punching bag show up for a minute just to swear at you and then just get hit with a discipline because we wanted to see what it did.
Okay, are we just gonna beat the shit out of Benny?
I mean, he probably deserves it.
He absolutely deserves it. That man has done terrible crimes in the games I've been running. He is a monster.
Yes.
I love it. I love that. Go,
But
I love
Benny.
yeah.
him.
Good
He's
job being a monster,
terrible.
buddy.
But yeah, I
He's
would
the
say
one. Oh, go ahead.
to answer your actual question, I feel like it wasn't really long enough to get a hang of how they work in the long term. And like my ST by the end of it had a fucking huge pile of drama in front of them that they hadn't used. So they were being smart. They weren't just saying fuck you, I've got the tokens, so I'm going to use them against you because I can.
Right.
But they had a huge pile of them. Players were pretty much immediately using them as they got them or losing them through ways. So like I feel like people weren't really building the quickening up as much. And I think that the problem with meta currencies is they do have like a meta play element. Like you do, as you play the game, you will find out how quickly you get them, how quickly the ST gets them, how quickly you can lose them. And so that will affect how you use them as well. You know, it's just like any other game where you have like tokens and magic and stuff where you're building tokens or that kind of thing. Like there's ways to gain them,
Yeah.
there's ways to lose them. You kind of have to learn the speed before you know how to really use them, even if you're not min maxing. Like there's going to be the guy who's like, oh, these are important, or I can get something for fire and 5. I can get one really big thing, so I'm just going to hoard them forever until I get those 5. And then there's
Right.
going to be the guy who's got like, I got one, I can get +1 die. I got it and I use it. So like there is that like meta play, like how does this actually shake out in the long term that I don't see existing yet. And I think it's going to take a couple games with these alpha playtest rules to kind of see how that works. So, on that side of things, I'm not really a fan of them. They're not really what I see or expect out of Vampire the Masquerade, but I also will say I don't think I am an expert on them. I played like 2 hours with them.
More of an expert than me.
That's fair. I'll put that on my resume, but
More of an expert at V6 than Skipper.
mhm.
It's a good line on a resume, man.
Mhm. How else will people know? I got to tell them.
Did we lose Sarah?
Oh no, she sent us a message. She went to grab water. She's still listening.
Oh, okay. Hi, Sarah.
But yeah, when she gets back, we have one more section to go over, but I think it's interesting. I'm not going to blow up their spot, but I did ask our Patreons if there was anything they specifically wanted us to like go over in these coming up episodes. And one thing specifically that was mentioned was they noticed like a dissonance between the rules and the stated intent of the rules, and I think this kind of falls into that category. And so I need to play it more to really get my teeth into that.
We
Yeah.
biting. Which the no. Yeah. I'm willing to try stuff out. I just sometimes with storytelling systems, if the focus is a storytelling system, I don't like when there's mechanics on something that should just be hey, we can talk about this like rational fucking adults.
Yeah,
Now,
there's also
VTM's a pretty like quote unquote mature system too. So like if you can't talk about it like
Yeah.
adults, this may not be the system for you.
Yeah. It's like I just need you to be really cool with a lot of fucked up shit, dog.
How open-minded are we, guys?
How open up? Yeah, and it's
Well-
like and it's like I understand some folks are like, well, what if people are nervous and don't know what to do? And I'm like, that's fine. People can use tools and then mature as a storyteller or as a player and like stop using the tools. That's totally fine. I'm not fucked by that. I don't like as a veteran player possibly being put into a system where there's tools that I will be forced to use that I don't need.
Or
I don't like
want.
this rock, Robert. It's pissing me off. So I'm just praying that if for some reason this survives alpha, like please let it be optional. Please let it be an optional rule because I will not be using it. Everything else I'm like much more open to be like, okay, I'm happy to see where this kind of goes. I'm praying that they actually stick to the thing they said in Darkness Emergence where they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a more like succinct timeline of like some meta plot events, so you just there's unreliable narrators, but this happened at this year, this happened at this year, this definitely happened, this we don't know about, there's some rumors. Like, I feel like that would help a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll
Mhm.
admit, we're doing rules next. So this is
Yes.
largely based on my playtest experience and me reading
Hmm.
the book to you right now and us talking about it. So we're going to do a
Yes.
deeper dive on these. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to dig into these. I will ask the patrons and people in our Discord. If you're listening to this, we have a feedback channel. If there's stuff we talked about in this episode that you want me to dig into on the rules episode, please tell me so I know
What to focus on.
what you guys want to hear about. Or if you've read it yourself and you're like, I saw this in here, this kind of fucked me off, or I thought this was really cool.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. This rock
it's a
actually is
hundred.
bringing me joy, Robert.
It's nearly 180 page alpha just for the storyteller packet. So like,
No.
there's a lot to get through,
Hmm.
and what we focus on, you can help determine.
Yeah.
But like
The
I
future
mentioned,
is yours.
yeah. What I mentioned, they have one more goal here in the alpha for
Yes.
their game design goals, and that's a plug and
Hmm.
play experience. Quote, playing and running the game are both easier and faster. You need fewer steps and less prep to jump right in, and the rules help you push play forward without friction.
Okay.
So that's their design goal. One of the first ways they've done this is character creation streamlined.
Okay.
After we get through the rules, and that might end up taking 2 episodes, depending on how much we need to go over and how in depth and all that. So I'm
Hmm.
leaving that as a question: how long we do this, and how long people stay interested. If you're like, all right, I've heard enough about this alpha shit, let's talk about some
Let's
more
talk
or
about other
whatever.
things. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
totally cool too.
Um,
But
also,
character
quick question on the
creation,
alpha.
yeah.
I have the alpha book for 5th edition. Do you want me to like bring that in as a comparison, or are we just like not fucking with that?
If you want to look at it and bring in some comparison, I'm not personally going to do that. I feel like that adds a lot more.
Complication.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Cool. I was just like, I have it. I can review it as just like a compare and contrast because I just think it's interesting. But by all means, I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt your flow.
no, but I was going to say one of the first ones is character creation streamlined. Character creation happens in quick steps that also helps players
Mhm.
tell and discover their character stories. I've heard a lot of stuff online from people who've messed around with these in our server and in other places. So I think we're gonna have to do a whole episode on it. We might do make a new Benny, basically. Try and make a character with the rules and see how it goes.
Ayo.
Is my plan right now. I have heard some scary things. It's not quite fatal tier, but from what I heard some people saying, it is possible to get through character creation and then have a non-usable character, depending on how
Oh,
things go.
no. That's
That
concerning.
that statement was so scary it killed John.
Yeah, he left the Zoom. Hopefully he comes back. We're praying. Yay, he's back.
Yeah.
Again, it
So,
crashed again. Um, I think that there is only one circumstance where I think that creating a character and then at the end of it not being a playable character or usable character or functional character works with the lore. And
Hmm.
that is if you're a Nosferatu and your embrace went absolutely wrong.
Yeah, and we're just like, we gotta put you down, Georgie.
Yeah,
No.
yep. You're gonna
Yeah.
go live in the sewers, pal. Sorry.
Like, okay.
You're a lump.
Not Lumpy George. No.
but yeah, I have not tried to make a character yet. This is totally based on the
Hmm.
words of other people. So we're gonna try that out for
Cool.
ourselves.
See how it goes.
See how it goes. But apparently they've streamlined character creation, so that'll be interesting. I mean, there's already less skills, so
Question for our playtest, and this is I'm happy to throw this to the audience as much as ourselves. When we do our playtest for the Patreons, are we gonna take one of the pre-gen characters, or are we gonna each go through the character creation, make a character, and just see how it runs?
let's leave that up to our players. Do they want us to do like character creation with everyone and go through that as like an episode and then play it? Or I was originally planning on just using the pre-gens.
That's totally fair. It's all good. I just was like, we have an option of doing at least for character creation episode being either we recreate Benny in the V6 alpha, or we just, one of us volunteers to make our character for the playtest on the episode, and then
I
off
think we
screen
should
the
make
rest of us make characters.
I think regardless, we should make Jenny, Benny's cousin.
Benny's
So I
cousin
think
Jenny, is she gonna be less slightly evil?
she's just as evil, but slightly less incompetent.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Very slightly less incompetent, but still just as evil.
So
Okay, cool.
maybe we keep the character we make during our character creation. One person plays that, and then we use pre-gens for the rest.
Okay, that's
That could be
fair.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just let us know. We'll run whatever, I guess. Ah,
Yeah.
cool.
The other plug-and-play things they have here are simplified NPCs. Quote, NPCs are easy to run and quick to build, allowing the storyteller to create them mid-session. If they have a quick session for making NPCs, I'd say that's a general positive. That's cool. Haven't looked at that system yet because I haven't run the game yet. I've only played, but I do, in theory, like the idea. I think that's cool. So I'm putting that down as probably cool.
Okay.
Quick gen NPCs, I like it.
Me too.
And then the other is story events, which are, quote, a set of tools that let the storyteller quickly generate events and situations for dynamic play. Interesting.
Okay.
That's something we'll also have to look at. We might have to do an ST episode. We'll do maybe we do regular rules and then ST rules. If we break that into two, that might be the
That
good
might be
way
the
to
easiest
split
way.
that up. But yeah, because again, I don't know, is that just like a fucking chart of what happens? A bunch of charts?
My kingdom for a fucking chart, please.
Or are they just referencing drama? Or are they just saying, oh, the ST can spend drama to complicate scenarios and stuff?
Or I could just do that. Or I could just complicate it.
I don't know. So that's a big, I'll have to look at to see what they're even talking about there, because I don't really know what they're getting at, to be completely honest.
Fair. Hell yeah. Was there any other notes, comments, concerns?
So that's their main game design goals here with V6.
Cool.
Then they go into like their playtest goals, what they're focused on the playtest, what they want people to hit them back on the feedback with specifically. I encourage everyone who's interested to give all this a read through, give your feedback, definitely help shape what comes next with our beloved game of vampires.
Yes.
But that's kind of what I had planned to go over as just a basic intro. Like I kind of touched on a lot of the rules quickly. We can dive into more next week. But that's the big news we have so far. They are doing a dev diary as well that you can follow as they work on this. So there'll be blog posts you can read. Other than that, we don't have a whole lot, really. This is like, I mean,
this
Sarah,
is the Hangover episode.
Sarah, you watched the announcement. There's not really anything in there that I missed that I think is important. There's a lot of art and design talk, which I think is cool, but not really what we're going for here. And that's just, you love the font talk.
I do like the fonts. I do like the art. You and I have quibbled about the layout of the structure of the presentation, and I think that's just professional differences that we have with some of the devs, and that's fine. I would have done that presentation a little differently, but that's okay. That's just different strokes for different folks.
We also both went to college for design, and Sarah and I fight over those things over everything. Even for what we do for this show, we don't agree.
Yeah,
we tend to quibble. Yeah. We have different tastes,
Yeah.
so that's not a reflection on them. That's just us being art nerds.
Yeah, no, that's just me being an academic dickhead.
I'm so glad I didn't go to art school.
I went
You
to
basically did, Mr. Hairstylist.
You went to a very oddly specific art school.
Totally different kind of quibbles and catty.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Just like having strong opinions on where the fade starts.
Listen, a bad highlight is trashy.
Yeah, no.
Listen, you can dye your hair whatever color you want until you take care of those ends.
Nasty. Look, they're gonna fade. They're gonna get, look, you see how it's smooth and then at the end it just frizz? It's because those are just cut them off. Okay, Jesus fucking Christ.
Anyway,
I don't disagree.
I had to channel a previous me there for a second. So
that's okay. You had a memoriam.
Anyway, yeah. So we got the announcements at Gen Con and we went over a lot of like the basics of it. I played the playtest. So in my experience, I would say I wanted to get this from everyone, but my overall experience so far is very I know it's an alpha, so all of this is bound to change.
Yep.
This is early alpha, and they did specifically say they wanted to take their time and make sure.
Mhm.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
no, I
Take your
appreciate
fucking time.
the please don't rush things. This is anything we fucking learned over the past 5 or 6 years. Don't rush shit. I don't care how much the community bitches. Don't rush it. It's not worth
It's not
it.
worth it.
If you
Because they're gonna
question
bitch
it,
even
go.
more.
Yeah, if you question it, we have a whole bit about it in the Kurt Vonnegut episode, last episode, which I did want to say. I want to small thank you to everybody at Gen Con that came up and gave thanks for us doing that storytelling episode. I had a weird amount of people come up and they're just like, that was actually stupidly helpful.
Nice.
And I was like, so cool. We still do good work. We appreciate the small ass pats. We're not asking for them, but it makes me feel like I know what I'm doing with my hands, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and also anybody who's like has come up to me also and been like, well, if we're switching to V6, are you finishing the show? And I was like, no, this is just more content. Okay.
no.
Yeah, we're a Vampire the Masquerade, V5, tabletop podcast.
Comma, the World of Dark. We just cover World of Darkness through Vampire. The edition changes nothing about the show other than we might have some bitches about how dice is running.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I still
woo.
They put Zenitsu in the core clans. They didn't even make me have to wait for a companion this time. I approve of that a lot.
Yeah, John is all ready to fuck this book.
and
Really,
and
they should have put it
Ravnos.
as the first clan like it should have been. But you know,
and Ravnos
Fantastic.
is in there, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
crazy. They don't even have an antediluvian.
Yeah, no, that's great. They're not making the boys wait. That's exciting. Hopefully, please don't make them wait. I can't deal with them bitching about it again. Please.
I will scree.
He
this
will.
time.
On the show, off the show, there will be screeing.
I'll send
Yeah.
feedback. It'll just be SCKREEEEEEE for a page. That's all they did.
John, that's bad input. We talked about that earlier in the episode, actually.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. My bad.
If you give your critique and then scree for a page, I think that's fine. That's
Well
fine. At least you
out,
gave
well
the
written.
yeah, and then scree. Well, they have to know who it is. They need to know who sent
Right.
it.
Now I just need to scree at them because the Somdi aren't in the core book. But
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like what happened to the Somdi? What happened to the rest of the Hakata? Did they get eaten?
I mean, we might find out when we figure out why
Or-
it's just Giovanni.
That Giovanni finally realized fucking your cousin was a bad idea, and they just wrapped all the other clans or the other necrotic bloodlines into the Giovanni. They finally realized incest was bad, in fact.
I mean that's basically what the Hakata was anyway. But
Yeah.
Hold on, that would mean that people in Vampire the Masquerade have to have self-reflection and learn from their mistakes. And if we look
I
at
promise it
okay,
happens.
name everyone's favorite boy again. Who was it? Cuthbert something, right? Right.
Oh,
How many
fuck,
mistakes has he made?
I didn't say he was the one doing self-reflection.
Okay, good.
I'm just saying there's characters that do. So yeah, we're also as in light of there will be more expansions into other parts of World of Darkness. We are in talks with other folks to talk about these other splats more in depth. So that is in the pipeline. And there will be further community outreach that we will hopefully be doing some collabs with. We're back on the horse, baby.
Giddy up.
This is the Gen Con hangover episode, but I believe it is fair to say that hey, so life has been crazy for all three of us for like a year, like many of you. 2026 was not the year, dog.
Bruh.
Brother.
I think I technically have had
But we're
4
getting
jobs
together.
so far.
Yeah, you have. I'm still fighting 2 governments for my citizenship papers. Like, I'm in these trenches. I can't afford to go to Clacton to go see Count Binface win that election because it's bullshit. The train companies are stopping democracy in Britain, and I hate it.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. I want to see the trash can win.
As he should.
As he should, goddammit. He's got sensible policies. He wants to build at least one affordable home. He's got a theme song now.
Oh god.
He's got a theme
Let's
song. There's
go.
also, if you type in to social media cunty binface, there's like a drag performer who is now like the femme version of the alien species that Count Binface is. Like the
I love
universe is
this.
expanding. It's so good. Those might be the aliens in the new Vampire Chronicles game. It'll be great. Fuck. Is there anything else going on? Playtest stuff. I know we're planning on finishing the Everlasting. I have a bunch of shit for that I think will still work and carry over into V6 of like weird deep dives into themings for various vampire clans that I'm like, I just think this is neat, and if you want to take it into your game, here you go. Like I have a whole book I've been reading about like haunted technology and the La Sombra, which I'm like, I want to finish this, god damn it.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, the wires, they're haunted. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a
Was there
Lasombra.
any
I
other...
can't interact with those wires anyway.
But what if you could?
Scenario. Oh,
What if you could?
well, okay, that'd be kind
What
of.
if there's ghosts in the cables?
That would mean there's ghosts in the machines.
There are.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Has vampires
And
just switched to a cyberpunk setting?
yeah, I was gonna say this is how we get technocrats, and nobody wants that.
I actually know from experience that's not true, but
Listen, I have the files. I have all the files about your guy. And also, shout out to people from our major LARP. How is it that there were 5 assassination attempts against Todd and none of them worked?
How the fuck? It's
How
because
the
our
fuck?
squad wasn't on it. That's what it is.
That's true. Our squad wasn't on it. Yeah, we were not on the Kill Todd squad. The Kill Todd squad.
Kill Todd
Bleh.
squad.
I think I
that's
was
a tongue twister.
I think as my character, who's the one guy who wanted to completely get rid of the technocracy in general, I think I was one of the only people who wasn't actively working to kill Todd somehow. So that's cool.
Killing Todd was who is the head of the syndicate in the game we were playing. Killing Todd was like B tier. He was like a side quest for me. I was like, if we killed him, cool. So every time like a player character was like, hey, you seem to be the leader of this weird vampire revolution thing. What do you want me to do? And every time I was just like, go kill Todd. I'm busy. You do it. I sent so many people to kill Todd.
Alrighty. Well, I think we're at that point. Do we have any other intro V6 notes?
I appreciate that the devs are trying to actively work with the community to try and make a game that makes fucking sense.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, the level of openness and communication is sick. Like I sat and talked to some of the designers who were there for the playtests. Like after the playtest, they sat and talked and were very willing to like just have a communication, and like they seem really interested in wanting feedback. That like so definitely take advantage of the opportunity that they're giving us here. Give it a play. Give feedback, or just hang out, listen to our opinion, and then parrot us.
I'm
into
looking
the
at the thing real
machine.
quick. Oh my god!
Don't actually do that. If you find what we say interesting and it influences your opinion, cool,
no,
but
it's
you
because I'm
do
trying to
not.
actually give a shout out to another VTM creator. I'm just trying to make sure I get their channel name fucking correct. Is this my dude? It is. So part of the reason I didn't do the playtest like I'd planned to for V6 is because I got roped into doing a pseudo comedy, pseudo storyteller calibration thing run by Nick, who writes Eldritch Automata. The panel was called TTRPG Court. I was wanting to give a shout out to Amir, who's also known as Dimples and Dice. He does a bunch of ETM stuff. He was the judge of that panel, and he was super sweet and fantastic. So I just wanted to make sure like I gave a shout out to another VTM person. That was like, I didn't do V6 guys because I got pulled in doing other work. Which that was a fun panel. I got to yell at people about the crimes they have done, both in character, also as players and STs, with like not handling things with social grace in a way that was like actually helpful. So like I appreciate everybody that was there for me on that. I did not sleep that night. I was so tired. But no, Amir was great, and I just wanted like go say hi to them. They're fantastic. If they stream stuff often for vampires, so if you want to watch the vampire stream, go look at his shit.
Hell yeah.
I think hell yeah, community support. Woo. Fuck, was there anything else?
Speaking of community, you can come join our community over at Discord.
Yes.
We got like I said, I've been asking people what they want to hear about this, and if you have feedback or thoughts, or just want to talk to people about V6, we're doing it over in our Discord.
Yeah.
Generally civilly, and even when not, we're nice about it.
Don't come in here and
Mhm.
scree though.
No.
Yeah,
You
it's
can scree a little bit. You're allowed to scree.
yeah, our server is like dark woke but chill. I guess is the best way to explain it. I hate that terminology, but that's correct. If you
I
like
mean,
an
they
edgy
let me hang
haha,
in.
yeah, it's true. You post fucking bizarre ass shit regularly. But yeah, we got people in there running V5 games. We got people running Legacy, World of Darkness. We got people running Mage. Sometimes people run shit not WoD. Because we've had like Deadlands. We've had Fallout.
Alien. I was playing
Alien.
a Colonial Marines game not too long ago.
I
think there was
did
some
get
Paranoia.
Paranoia. I did finally get my copy of Blades 68. So I'm tempted to run that in the server as a one shot to test it out. I could be bullied into doing it sooner rather than later. So if you like Blades in the Dark, but you want it to be 1960s mod Cultural Revolution shit, there's a
not
whole
fun.
packet about fucking in there.
Ooh.
Sexual Revolution, let's go. Yeah, so we got loads of folks. If you want to run games, you want to hang out, talk about shit, please join the server. It is for free. We do have some portions that are paywalled for patrons, where you get like a cool little badge, and then you get some channels that are directly. We ask you questions on like Hunter is doing with the show now, where he's like, "Hey, what do you actually want us to talk about?" Because we want to make sure you're supporting us and we're giving you content you actually fucking want. Woo!
Yeah.
And I'm getting. I promise. I know I've said this already. I'm getting back on the horse with the Patreon episodes. We're gonna be doing a live play of the playtest scenario over there. We're gonna finish up the game we're reviewing. I got some Batboy content, and I've got some other weird shit to drop over there. Now that I'm getting settled into my new job, so I actually have time to write stuff again. So
fuck yeah. Cool. I think that's pretty much everything for us. If you like the interview that Hunter does with our special guests this upcoming week, and you want to participate, you can hit us up at blankbodies@gmail.com. We have a little bit of backlog of folks that reached out to us. We're apologizing. Life was fucking stupid, and we decided to be responsible adults and handle business first. I think business has been mostly handled, so now we can circle back and hopefully do more fun projects.
yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
I think that's the major business.
Sick. I have easy access to Iron Brew again, so like I feel good about that. I hope I don't
You
end
feel
up
good
on the
about the easy
news.
access to Iron Brew?
Iron
Or
Brew?
you?
Yeah.
Okay, I
The
wasn't sure if
the
you were saying you feel good about the playtest because you have easy access to Iron Brew.
a
I
little
mean, I
little
get it
column A,
because
little
it does
column
kind of
B.
just make life better in general.
It does. It does. I'm not gonna deny. I'm kind of tempted to, because I have some recipes for making like creamer at home. I'm kind of tempted to make an Iron Brew creamer for coffee and see how that goes.
I feel like that's going to be cursed, but I feel like you're
I
probably
thought
going to
you were
like
gonna
it.
get on the current dirty soda trend and make a dirty Iron Brew.
Why the fuck
I
would
had
I
a
do that? I'm
dirty
not
root.
Mormon.
I had a dirty root beer the other day.
That
It
doesn't
tasted
even
How
like a
make
was
root
it?
beer.
sense.
It tasted like root beer float. You just put
Uh,
some cream in it.
yeah, I know.
It's
That's what I'm
root
saying.
Yeah.
beer.
That's basically already
Yeah, just get a root
Yeah.
beer float. I will say an Iron
what
Brew
the
float
Mormons are
does
doing to
fuck.
this country is unforgivable.
Truly. First, they didn't
This is what's
acknowledge
done it.
black people until the 70s. Now the dirty sodas. I can't believe the Mormons would do this to us. They also gave us Mitt Romney and his weird dad genes.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable? Okay, we need to get out of here before I say something else that's going to get us in trouble.
Yeah.
All right.
Woo.
I guess bye.
Bye.
Bye,
John did a
everyone. I
kiss.
love you.
Sarah, you have to end the recording. You're in charge, remember?
I did forget. How the fuck? Okay.
That was 6 kisses for V6.
Was it 6? How the fuck do I end
I
this
think
recording?
it was closer to 12, really. I did
You're
a
gonna
lot of
click
kisses.
more,
Oh,
and
I
then
found it.
end for